Welcome to Victoria Falls.
Victoria Falls is a waterfall on the Zambezi River that straddles the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. On this trip, we will be visiting the Vic Falls from both the Zimbabwean and Zambian side. After we got the gang together, we hit the road to our next adventure.
Good morning, guys. We are here at Crobbers Bridge border post. We want to go from South Africa to Botswana. We had a choice between Stockport and Crobbers Bridge, and we chose this. It's quite chaotic. We don't know how long this border crossing is going to take. It's cars, we're not moving. And then there's a hyper activity where you can have some food if you like.
We came from Lepalale this morning. We slept there overnight last night, and yeah, we're gonna go through the border today and all the way to Nata in Botswana. So we'll keep you posted for the rest of the journey.
Elephant Sands is a bush lodge and campsite in the northeastern part of Botswana. Here you can enjoy viewing the elephants at the natural waterhole right in front of the lodge.
Welcome to Elephant Sands Lodge, where the elephants truly do rule. We are spending the night here tonight before we move on to Zimbabwe and eventually to the Vic Falls. So this is just part of the road trip, overnighting to get to our destination, but this is really a very popular spot to come and overnight. It's fully booked, and I can see why.
It's quite busy. A lot of elephants at the waterhole, as you will see. A lot of camping facilities as well if you don't want to stay in a luxury tent.
Yeah, so I will show you what it looks like inside of their units.
The next morning, after breakfast and checkout, we were ready for our second border crossing of the trip.
We are currently at the border between Botswana and Zimbabwe. We are on our way to Victoria Falls and we are doing the border crossing at the moment. Botswana was super easy.
There was nobody there. We were very lucky.
But there's a lot of tour buses and they all need visas. South African citizens don't. And then there's people that try and assist you. I don't recommend it, but yes, we had somebody helping us now, just to get it done easier and quicker.
Well, welcome to Zimbabwe. What? Okay, we are currently at our Zambezi Lodge, and this is the unit. Nice bathroom with a shower and a bath. And then we continue on, then you have your bedroom with an exit on the balcony or the patio, TV, nice place to sit. And here we have a lounge that's part of the room, like an interleading room, and you can go outside here as well.
We will only be spending one night here at this scenic lodge situated on the banks of the mighty Zambezi River before crossing the border into Zambia. But before moving on, we are going to visit Zimbabwe's Victoria Falls National Park. Here you can see the park's entrance fees. This is an outlay of the footpaths and all the different viewpoints in the park. Viewpoint 1 on the trail is Devil's Cataract and Livingstone statue. Dr. David Livingstone is reputed to be the first European to see the Victoria Falls. Number 2 is called Chain Walk, and it leads down into the gorge where one gets an excellent view of Devil's Cataract and Cataract Island. From viewpoints 3 to 7, you will be able to see Devil's Cataract and the main falls. June to August is said to be the best time to visit the Vic Falls because the spray isn't too insane that you can't see anything, but there is still a decent amount of water to look at. Coming here at the start of July, I can totally agree with this being a good time to visit. Overall, the temperatures are comfortable and it's unlikely to have a lot of rain during this period. From viewpoints 9 to 12, you can see the main falls, Livingstone Island, and Horseshoe Falls.
So we went to the Victoria Falls, and before we went inside there was guys selling ponchos, but we thought it might be a scam, so we decided not to go with the ponchos, and we might have made a mistake. So we can now highly recommend buying a poncho before you come inside for the food experience.
So I was following the rainbow and found myself some treasure at the end. The Victoria Falls Bridge crosses the Zambezi River just below the Victoria Falls and is built over the second gorge of the falls. As the river forms the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia, the bridge links the two countries and has border posts on either sides. We will be spending the next 3 nights here at Toala camp in Zambia. Toala is an elegant camp on the banks of the Zambezi River. In the main areas, you will find a luxurious lounge, dining area, bar and pool deck, all overlooking the river. The luxurious tented suites are spacious and provide a serene atmosphere. After settling in, it was definitely time for some lunch. The lodge provides a variety of activities that is included during your stay. For our first activity, we decided to go on a cruise along the Zambezi, looking for hippos, crocs, and other wildlife. And of course, we had to make time to enjoy and admire a beautiful sunset. Before dinner, we were surprised by some traditional music and dance. The next morning after breakfast, we were ready for a tour of the falls. It was time to go visit and experience the rest of the Vic Falls on the Zambian side.
So the river which you are actually seeing over there, in fact the one which we did the boat cruise yesterday, it's called the Zambezi. So the Zambezi River, it's actually starts right here in Zambia at a place called Kaleni Hill in Mwinyilunga.
In Zambia?
Yes.
We wondered about that.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the source of the river in Mwinyilunga in the northwestern part of the country. So that is the source there. You see? So it's actually nearby the Congo DRC in Angola.
So it goes to Angola as well,
yes,
the river?
Yes. So when it starts from there, this is actually in a marshy area at a hill called the Kaleni Hill. So when it starts as a small bubbling spring, then as it flows down into the hill, it actually becomes a big river. But it is actually joined by a lot of tributaries to make it a big. So when it starts from there, it runs through
Just
Angola.
tell me the town again, where it starts?
Mwinyilunga,
I won't remember that.
northwestern part of the country. It's called Mwinyilunga. Okay, so from there when it starts, it gets into Angola with a distance of 240 kilometers. Then again comes back to Zambia in the western part of the country. And then when it gets over here, it becomes a flat plain. And then that is where we've got a traditional ceremony which we call the Kuomboka ceremony. It normally takes up once every year It's further about 600 kilometers further upstream. So the river runs down here. When it gets at this point, this is a place called the Caprivi Strip.
Is that?
Yes, Caprivi Strip. So this is where we share the river with Namibia. Yes, yeah. So about 200 kilometers further upstream. Then the river continues running down. When it gets at this point, this is a point called the Kazungula.
That's the border, right?
Yes, that's where
where
now
the four countries
exactly.
meet.
This is where the four countries meet now. We share the four countries meet here. And then right over there at Kazungula, it's about 60 kilometers further upstream. So there's what we call the Chobe River, which is between Botswana and Zambia. It runs and then it ends into the Zambezi. So from here, the river continues running down. Over here, this is where the falls. Unfortunately, it was not indicated here, the falls. But this is somewhere, the falls is somewhere around here. Okay, so from here, from the source up to here, the river is actually divided into two sections, which we call the Upper Zambezi and the Middle Zambezi. So the Victoria Falls, this is the demarcation between the Upper Zambezi and the Middle Zambezi. So the river continues running down, it gets into Mozambique, then the last drop is the Indian Ocean. So the falls you're actually seeing today is the number 8 falls. The 9th one is actually forming on the Zimbabwean side. This is another crack. Can you see it? Yeah. So it's actually estimated that it's going to cut through this way, all the way up to somewhere there. But this will take maybe another 100 million years from now.
Okay, so we won't be there.
But me, I'm going to be still available here.
Okay, you will let us know.
Okay, so you must be wondering where we are. So we are somewhere here, this is where we are, looking at that direction. So how we are going to walk? We are going to walk from there, coming all the way. We are going to cross over a small bridge called the Knife Edge Bridge. And then the last viewing point, it will be the danger point. That's the last viewing point here. And then from there, when we are done, we are going to walk back again the same way. So from there, coming all the way up to here. This is a total distance of 1.7 kilometers wide, and then the height, it's 108 meters. Okay, so from there coming up to here, this is the Zambian side of the falls, because we share it with Zimbabwe. And then this is the Livingstone Island over here. That's the Livingstone Island. And then that's your Devil's Pool over there. Yeah, so this is where you swim as far as to the edge of the falls. So, but right now there's so much water going over the falls, the swimming is actually closed. So this is where the Zambian side ends, and then from there, this is all Zimbabwe. So this part is called the main falls. This is the part which never dries up. There is always water going over the falls the whole year round.
Late afternoon, we head out for a game drive. We were most excited to follow our scout on a rhino walk. This is something we never dreamed of doing. This was such an unexpected but incredible experience, especially for my husband Gregory. Rhinos are his absolute favorite animal, and for him to be here with them is just unbelievable. No afternoon game drive is complete without a beautiful sundowner spot. On our last day at Toala, Gregory and I tried our hand at tiger fishing, but had no luck catching any. While searching for different fishing spots, we did come across a crocodile and a few hippos on the riverbanks.
Good morning from a cold and windy Toala.
Yes, good morning. We had an amazing time here. The weather was perfect for our first 2 days. And then yesterday morning, we realized something was different. It was snowing in Johannesburg back home the first time in 12 years. And I think some of that cold front even reached here. It was moving in, and today is even worse than yesterday. It's windy, it's miserable, and it's very cold. But the lodge is still warm and nice, and we had a wonderful time here.
This morning is our last morning. Well, we're leaving this morning. We're just having breakfast and then we're gonna head out all the way back to South Africa.
For our next adventure, we are going somewhere unique and exciting. Somewhere we can see tigers roaming free in the wild. Somewhere we can get up close and personal with wild cheetahs. And for this somewhere, we don't even have to leave our home country. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our new adventures.